Hi guys, how are you? My name is Nduta. It's so good I remembered to introduce myself today. And as the title suggests, I'm coming here with a word from my mother. It's not a new word, but it's been in my spirit so much since my mother expressed it. We were in Mombasa having this Bible study in the morning. I had gone to Mombasa with my niece, my aunt, and my mom. Uh, so in the morning, we'd have a Bible study. We'd study a word, discuss it as we have breakfast, and then we'd leave and just go explore. And we were there discussing a topic from Timothy on vessels. I've mentioned it before. And my mom just, the way she talked about this Jeremiah 29 and 11 has me going back into my feelings and into the word of God and into my thoughts about God, feeling like, wow, I am so loved. Welcome, and please subscribe. Let's do this, and it's going to involve a lot of things, including the kind of reset I'm trying to do. And fam, I am doing a reset, and look, there's a lot of things in my life that are not quite aligned, and I'm sure that goes for a lot of people. I hope you don't hear the kind of noise going on outside. They're constructing in the next corridor. And listen, I am in a place where I've taken on a challenge that I felt God was talking to me about through somebody else. And listen, I've tried to ignore this, and always in my heart there's God going like, that is what I want you to do. And I've watched the person. I look, God works in mysterious ways, because this person, down to the gray hair, she has gray hair, although she's a young person. You will eventually know who I'm talking about. But there's something she came and did online, and I realize now that she wasn't doing it just for herself. Like, we don't always do things for ourselves. When God sends you, he sends you for his people. And I had the privilege of watching this person begin and continue. And today, because this is a new season and it's a season for other people as well, because I've gone through what I've gone through, can I invite you to come on a journey? I don't always tell people what I want to do, because for me, the energy just flows out after I announce something. And that is why many people in my life, some are even angry at me. But whenever I don't want to announce something, it's because I'm afraid the energy will run out. And I don't always feel like God has led me to say something. So I'm quite talkative, and I share quite a lot. My friends know that about me. But you will find that if I'm not sharing something, it's because I'm being held back by a force stronger than me. Yeah. But this one, I'm holding myself accountable. I told you, as I'm resetting, I plan to build a thing, and several things actually. I would really, some, it's just a desire, but I know that this will be the end result. One, which is quite a huge desire and something that's been a struggle. I don't know if that noise is going to be a big bother, but I really need to rebuild my body. I have worked out before, and I really used to enjoy working out in Kenya because we had coaches available. And shout out to Coach Mandela. He really used to train us, and I didn't always have the discipline because I'm not at all athletic. And it's come to a point where I have to work out my body because I was pre-diabetic a while ago. I've been working to reverse that, and I feel like all these things are a challenge for me to do better. And I am sure that there's somebody who is also beginning their lives. And this is also a reset for me. I'm beginning again. This is a new week. This is a new uh, month for me back since I came back from Kenya, and I just want to invite someone along. I'm going to show you also some things I've done today. This is the first day I went out walking, and there's been a lot of things that have been preventing me from starting, but also some has been just me being lazy and feeling things, just allowing myself to feel in my mind and plan and all of that. But I feel like I've set the plans in motion, and so what I'm going to do, um I don't even know how I will share it online. I just don't have that kamojo. But I'm going to share it how I know, and perhaps it will benefit someone. If you're looking to reverse a disease, if you're looking to just reset yourself, begin something, build something from scratch, build, even if it's financially, build your emergency fund, start some sinking funds, build a fund, or build a business from scratch, build something from scratch and see it grow, knowing very well that he who started the work in you is going to see it to fruition. I invite you. But first, let me share this word from my mother. Let's read from Jeremiah 29 and 11. And the Bible says, for I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. Some versions, of course, read, I know the plans I have for you. They are plans for good and not evil, to give you a future and a hope. Listen, we were doing Bible study, like I said, and my mom can be quite soft-spoken. When people are just talking aggressively, she can just sit back and talk. So we kind of highlighted on her, like shone the light on her, and we were like, so what do you have to say on this topic? We were talking about vessels, and mommy chips in and says, let me say it in Kikuyu because it really hit me. I don't know whether it was just those words in Kikuyu. And she says, hey, ni igenda kuga atiriri, uria Ngai augaga ati netwiciragiria meciria mega ma gutwika o wega na gututhondeka. And of course, my mind went to, of course, that is Jeremiah 29 and 11, but it was the delivery, my God. And I do believe with all my heart and soul, there's a way, even if you're not a speaker, even if you're, look, you could be the most mpole person, and then God allows you to just say something at a certain point. And let me tell you, sometimes it's like people have forgotten, and God is like, I will not even use the speaker of the moment. I will use this person who is kind of quiet and just content in listening, so that when she does speak, all ears will be attuned to what she's saying. And friend, I just want you to go back to Jeremiah 29 and 11 right now. And no matter what you're going through in life, and it doesn't even have to be bad, but sometimes you're going through good things and we are like, God, are you with me? I'm so scared to fail. And last time we talked about fear, and I'm so scared to fail, and I'm so used to failing that I know this can also lead in failure, but I'm working so hard. I'm so set on doing this race with the hope that, my God, you will not fail me. And then you look back and realize, even the times that you were in such bad places, God was always thinking good things over your life for your future, to give you a hope now and throughout the journey, for your future will be good. You have to think about the fact that the Israelites were in captivity at this time, and so many prophets kept telling them, they would call the prophets to tell them what they want to hear. And so many prophets were like, don't even build, don't do this, you're going back. You're going back home. And Jeremiah would be sent by God to tell them that is not so. Settle down, build. And they would be so vexed at Jeremiah they would want to kill him. This guy was even flogged at some point. Alichapwa. There's a time he was even arrested and held at the courtyard for everyone to see and call him a madman. Like, he went through the most just because he was telling contrary to what people wanted to hear. If somebody came and told me when I was waiting for my visa that this particular visa you've applied for, you will not get it, and I had the power to have them flogged, I would have gotten them flogged. Because people know a lot, and people have seen a lot, and people have experienced a lot, and some just know, and sometimes they just choose to keep quiet when you're going through the most, and some just know that you will break through even when things don't seem as good. There's sometimes you're so much in the dumps and you don't think you can make it out. And somebody who has had that experience will even lack words to tell you that imagine you will come out of this, because you yourself don't believe. So somebody might be tempted to talk too much, or just wait for you to just see it come, All I know is that no matter what you're going through, you're going to come out on this other side, and you're going to take steps that lead you to a better place, and you'll be like, Oria Gai augaga ati niatushiragia meshiria mega, he really does. And when you come out on the other side and you remember these things, you can really see God's majesty, God's hand in everything. And because sometimes God does not let us thrive on our own, because we would even be led to pride or thinking that, it's because I'm so good. It's because, I do my things this way. No, it's not because you're good. Imagine. Our family has been in sort of a captivity for the longest time. And we being the first to come abroad, I was sharing something while I was doing my walk this morning, and I will show you a bit of that. So I was talking and I realized that I removed one of the videos that contained that. And so I was thinking, my grandma was the first in the family to go to Nairobi to seek greener pastures. It's the same way. Guys are coming here for work and to seek greener pastures. This is not a special case. It's the rural urban migration, city to, first world countries migration to seek better. And some families have done it for years, so that it is now kawaida. They don't even see what's the big deal. Some people are jumping in and out of planes every day, traveling for business and what have you. It's the most normal thing. They'll be talking about, I was in London tomorrow, I'll be in Dubai tomorrow. I was in London the other day, I'll be in Dubai, just doing their business. Some people are even so content, they wouldn't want to leave their country because they're already settled. But some families have been in such a dark place, and God says no more and allows some people to just be the pioneers, go ahead and sort of open the doors, And how do you open these doors? It's by going through the most, going through so much suffering, showing how the journey can be quite difficult for some people who have never had that kind of blessing in their lives. And then because you've gone through it, your people will have it much easier. That is how you open the doors. Yeah, some people have always had tall relatives in companies, and they just pull you up. They just bring you in the action, and you end up having a very good job with a good salary. What am I saying right now? Seeing the kids behind me, my nieces, my nephews, who want to pursue kind of the same thing. If somebody is pursuing like pastry right now, it makes me just want to do the most, just want to show them, or give them links to whatever colleges that are abroad. I'm like, please baby, go to Paris, go to Dubai. And maybe they're like, auntie, I just started I just started my course, nini my pressure. But it's like, I want them to just find the best training. I want them to just have a softer life and have it faster, and have, like me, I've never had like professional training in the things that I've done, and sometimes it was lack of opportunities. Sometimes it was just me giving up so easily. Like, I remember a time I was going to college and it was such a difficulty getting the fees. And one time I just was giving up, you know. And when the idea of giving up came to me, and I looked at the circumstances, and also it was also around the time that hubby left, and one of my kids was having, the last born, was having such difficulty coping, even with house helps. I was like, Minata, I'll just do my thing. So I went into training myself, but I'm also the kind of person that doesn't endure much. And that is why also the journey has been extra difficult for me. So I'm telling you these things because if you're like me, you might want to give up. And I'm just telling you, sometimes you push through, something will give. Sometimes if you absolutely have to give up, God will still come through. But you will have to learn through that process, you know, until you reach a point where I feel like God has taken me, even the places He's taking me now, there are places where I can be, like, I see myself being more accepted, more loved, being more accommodated, given more favor than I used to have before. And I realized that it is the time, you know, there's a time that God used to allow me to be violently rejected so I could move from some places. But there are places I also used to be accepted and I still would leave because some I don't even have the reasons. But I'm just saying, in all this, whether you succeeded in some places or not, whether you were accepted or rejected, whether it was other people's doing that you left somewhere, or it was your own doing, your own inconsistency, your own laziness, your own indiscipline that led to you moving from certain places, still, God thinks the absolute good things for you. And He wants you to just excel, you know. It's funny, I didn't introduce my uh, my African jewelry today. This one was given to me by my family as a parting gift as we were coming back. And yesterday we were watching Black Panther 2 and the queen was wearing something like this in brown. I don't know if you watched the movie, maybe you noticed it. And my hubby was like, she's wearing an ushanga like yours. I was like, what? There, I'm wearing it tomorrow. For tomorrow's video, you know. I never even used to wear African jewelry. I used to feel like I don't have the neck for it because I have a very short neck, you know. So anyway, I'm coming at this point in my life to tell you, whatever advantages or disadvantages you feel like you've faced in your life, God has been thinking good things for you. If my mom is saying this, having gone through even tougher things than me, and now me being the third generation, I see my kids going through what they would call tough, but I know that they're having an easier time and better opportunities. And by my kids, it's not only my biological kids, but also my nieces and nephews. I see the paths they are taking, and I know God is going to make it easier for them because we have paid the price. They may not see it, but they're also paying the price for their generations. And I can just pray. I'm just praying that they go from strength to strength, you know, because sometimes easier times may make for more spoiled people, you know. But it is my prayer that throughout the generations that are coming and that are to come, God is still going to do marvelous things in our lives. So I don't know where your family has been, but God is in control. The next video that I do, watch out for it. I won't wait until Tuesday, but it's a reset video, and I'm just showing you how I'm resetting. Today I went for a walk to the around the university area. The cycle I was taking is, I was escorting my husband, so it was easier for me to go in that area. And then I was supposed to circle the block, but I didn't because it's a slope coming back. It's very easy going, but when you're coming back, it's quite tough. But then when I realized I hadn't done enough steps, I just went to the field. So I'll show you a bit of that, because in every area here there's a field. Let me tell you, that is how Dandora was when we were growing up, and even civil servants. But with the rural urban migration, too many people came, the system couldn't support that, and our playgrounds and all of that ended up being taken off so more houses could be built. I hope that as we are coming abroad, we won't have to be squatters and making, to slum dwelling in places just to be accommodated. I don't know what will happen, but I just pray that uh, as we are growing, we will even take care of our environments. We will do better. We won't litter. We won't. I see litter sometimes, and I'm like, why did that person litter? We've been given better opportunities, cleaner places, and I see Nairobi do the same happening in Nairobi. I want us to do better as people. I know this goes without saying, but allow me to just say it because growing up in Dandora, it was a very nice and clean place. I felt that feeling of my childhood when I first went to Canada, and it was so nice and clean, and they had these two little brooks. Like, it's, I don't know if it's by design that they have these two brooks where you see very clean rocks and water passing, and playgrounds in the estate, and I just seeing my kids just rushing to the playground to play on the monkey bars and other places. I was reminded of my childhood, and I was like, I don't even know how these people have maintained their environment like this for so long. I wish we can do that now. As growing up in Dandora, I saw the rural urban migration happening, a lot of people coming in, and the older people were moving now to places like Roy. They would buy land in Roy, Kamulu, and move there. And the new people were not responsible. I will say that the new people that came were not responsible. They pulled out the barriers in places where vehicles were not supposed to pass to protect the kids that were playing in the area. And so we saw many vehicles coming in, and the places started getting dirty. The two brooks we used to go to look for fish, which was actually tadpoles, the two gardens we used to go to visit, the little stones that looked like precious stones that were near the railway station, everything just started fading away. The railway station with all its beauty and glory, the benches, people were pulling off benches. I think even some took them home to sit on. I just saw the decline in the area, and I really hated it. People were throwing garbage anywhere. Like, if somebody is going to the bus stop, they will carry their garbage from their house and just litter at the bus stop. Guys, we have to do better. I'm going to stop there, and then I will show you the kind of research I'm doing so that you can come along. The sun has come out now, so it's Monday. I'm still doing my stuff. I'm still resetting at home. Right now I've cleaned a bit after coming for my walk, and so when I showered, I felt like dressing like this. I'm not going anywhere, but it feels nice to read my Bible like this, and then I'll do just some other things that are waiting for me to do. And I'm praising God for this time that I'm able. Look, if I don't take advantage to reset my life right now, when I have this much time, when I get busy, I won't like myself so much. So part of liking yourself is doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, when you have the time to do it. So take advantage. Don't just sit, especially if you're growing older. Sitting will harm you. You sit too much, unaumwa. You sit too little, unaumwa. So get your rest, get everything you need to get. Oi, if you like going for movies, Aki, don't wait for a crowd to come and take you. For your friends, nini, just go for movies. Do whatever you need to do. Go for walks if that's your jam. Go to the nearest restaurant, get some coffee if that's your jam. I see people in Nairobi doing that a lot. Aki, don't be left out. Don't just be the one who stays home. It's good to be a homebody, but when the home is also extended to a place, you can find a place of comfort where you can go do your work on your computer or read a book or something. That is the sweetest thing. I don't always do that, but whenever I do, it hits me that this is so sweet. It's the soft life that you create for yourself. It doesn't even take much. I'm starting also, like I mentioned, I've spent so much in Nairobi, so I'm trying to replenish. I'm trying to like refocus financially and in every other way. So come with me if you're building something, if you're building your finances, if you're building your body, if you're resetting your home. come with me. If you want to see also what I'm doing, listen, I'm trying to make this a no buy year. There's a time I've bought a lot when I was creating a home for myself. I wasn't buying, of course, the most expensive things because this was the first time now we were setting up a home here in Worcester. It's not the things. I got some things that I liked. I thrifted some. I bought some from my favorite shops. I furnished the home. It's not like an amazing place, but we set up a nice warm home, and I'm satisfied with that for now because I don't want to spend. So this is a no spend year. That's what I'm telling myself, because I really need to save. I need to recreate my emergency fund that I dipped into a lot with the traveling, of course, gifting and all that. And I realized this one thing. Indulge me. I know the time is going, but indulge me. I realized that in the season of giving, it feels so good to give. And my sister is a gifter, and I remember her telling me it must be nice, yeah, to gift. And I said, oh my God, yes, in the right season. And sometimes you give not because you have, and it might even hurt you so much, and you're really like, guy, me, I don't know what I will do because I don't have what it requires to give, and also to satisfy somebody else's need, because I'm there like struggling to build something or to make something of myself. So yeah, when it's time to give, it hits different, and you give it freely. You don't feel the pain. So when you see people complaining about giving, it's because it goes against the time. But sometimes God will set you up. He will put you in a position where somebody is asking exactly what you have, so that when you give, then you have seeded. So that when he blesses you, now he multiplies that. But also, even as Christians, even as an African society, we have to be conscious of our giving. Let us not give and end up hurting ourselves because you want to impress, because you want to please people. Let us grow together. Talk to people. When you can't, when you cannot actually give, don't just dismiss and complain and hate. Talk to them and walk with them that journey when they need something. And if somebody is just totally asking because it's a want, talk to them about that and kind of cross that bridge together. And when you actually give, they will understand you didn't deny them because you hated them. It's because you couldn't. It's because you had committed yourself to something. And even though you're in a position that looks like you could easily do it, sometimes it's not that easy. And people now end up, fighting because of such things. So seasons, let's observe seasons, and let's also be kind about things. I'm learning all these things as I go. And of course, I'm sharing them as I go, because sometimes even when somebody comes to you, you know that you can't. And sometimes it's very hard to tell someone you can't, because they came to you knowing that you can. And you have now to guide them, to redirect their vision towards God, because some problems, it's God teaching them through something. And when they cross over, they will understand, because one time they will come and stand in the exact same position you're standing, and they will understand, oh, so this is why so and so couldn't do this for me. And I understand. And sometimes they could be carrying anger and even hate, because there are times they thought you could help and you didn't. So they're so mad at you. But it's all good, because God always makes things God, things always come around. God always makes it okay in the end, like Romans 8:28 says, so it's all good. I thank you for watching this. Please subscribe if you can. May the grace of the Lord be with us now, forever and forevermore. Amen. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.